Hello friends, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to see AWS cost optimization, how to reduce AWS billing, or in another way, we can see how to decrease the billing of your AWS account. Okay, so what is the best practices we need to follow? Okay, so in comment section in many videos, you guys ask me the same question: how to reduce the AWS billing? Okay, so let's explore today what we are going to see the actual how we can reduce the billing. What are the those best practices which industry following currently and which we can also follow, and we can reduce the billing of our AWS account. Okay, so stay tuned on this channel and let's start the video. Let me open here a Word file and we can note it down all those points which we are going to discuss today, and you can also note it down and keep it in mind that explore all those options to reduce the AWS billing. Okay, so let's start. And before start, if you still not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so our first point will be, okay, so many of you guys are utilizing third-party tools, correct, for to reduce your billing, just like Nutanix Beam or Cost Optimization. There are multiple teams, multiple softwares, correct, which your organization currently have installed, and that tool basically give you all those information on which section, which part we can reduce the billing. Okay, so let's have our first point, third-party tools. So basically all these third-party tools will give you the analyzation. Okay, so suppose like your EBS volume not touch more than 90 days. Okay, so we can simply go ahead and delete that EBS volume, or take a final backup and delete that volume if it is not touch more than 90 days. Okay, obviously then it will be not in use. Okay, so take confirmation from that EBS volume owner who is owning that volume, and go ahead and delete. Okay, so third party tool always helps. Okay, so we can utilize this option. The another way we can do is AWS Cost Explorer. Okay, that is inbuilt solution. We can use that. Okay, so let's note it down here. So let me show you about AWS Cost Explorer a little bit. Okay, so you might seen my earlier videos about AWS Cost Explorer. Okay, so let me show you something. So this is one of my uh, account. Okay, and you can see how it is utilized. Okay, and Elastic Compute Cloud is retention database, RDS, ELB, then AWS compute users and the other users. Okay, so similarly, if I go to Cost Explorer, okay, here you can see how it's how we can save the cost. Okay, and here you can see in the right hand side, since November 1st you have saved 11,666 0.85 as a result of your EC2 RI purchase. Okay, so reserved instant purchase. Okay, so I am also working to reduce on my AWS cost. Okay, so this is just for example. Okay, you can explore this option also, AWS Cost Explorer, to reduce your costing. Okay, so this will give you the details about which instance you can add in a reserved instance or spot instance. Okay, all those types of information you will get out here. So I'm not going in very deep in Cost Explorer, so let's go back and find out all those methods which we can utilize to reduce our billing, okay, and make our life easier. So let's go back. So as I said, okay, while using the Cost Explorer, I have resized my EC2 instance. Okay, I have made few reserve instance, and it saved me around 11.5 k dollars. Okay, so similarly you can also do. So we can add this point also, that right sizing about the EC2 instance. Okay, so right sizing EC2 instance will definitely reduce our costing. So let me give you one of the example. Okay, so whenever the new account AWS account will create, so that time multiple VDIs, sorry, multiple EC2 instance we are creating, correct? So in future or in after some years, okay, after some months, we not require that sizing. Okay, so we can clearly see, okay, so any instance on high sizing, okay, just like we can say 42 virtual CPU or 500 GB RAMs, 512 GB RAMs. Okay, so after some of the months, we can clearly see that the utilization even not going more than 42 percent or not than 40%, then definitely we can resize those instance. Okay, we can change that instance family or lower down the instance on the same family. Okay, so that will reduce our billing. So I have done this myself, and I shown you how I have reduced the billing. Okay, so you can also try. This is a very good options. Okay, so next thing is scheduling on and off timings. Okay, so we can auto scale our timings to start and stop the instance. Okay, so if you are using EC2 or if you are using AWS Workspace, there are a scope, okay, where you can schedule your EC2 or your workspace on off timing. So this will also reduce your billing. So the instance which is not on reserved instance or spot instance, the instance which is on demand instance, okay, you can definitely save there your money if you add this point. Okay, so let me add out here scheduling on off hours. Okay, so I have added the point scheduling on off timings on EC2 as well as the workspace. Okay, so the next method which we can use is purchasing the reserve instance and do enable the saving plans. Okay, so you know that this particular server, okay, which is currently on very high uh, billing, okay, and you know this server is going to utilize or it's not going to shut down, or we can say delete or retired in next 2 years or 3 years. Okay, we can add those servers into reserve instance. Okay, so if you adding those servers into reserve instance, automatically the saving plans will reserve instance saving plan will reduce your billing. Okay, so suppose you have created one production server like your web servers or application servers, and you know this server is not going to retire at least 3 years, at least or 1 year. Okay, add those instance into a reserve instance plan and just save the cost. Okay, so let's add this point also. Okay, so after this video, go and check all these points. Okay, it will definitely help you to reduce your billing, trust me, because everything, all these points I have implemented myself, and it's a huge impact. Okay, so let's add this point. Okay, so this point also added. So next point will be delete unattached EBS volume. Okay, so what happens sometimes or many times, okay, you are adding creating a EBS volume to attach one of the servers, and once your work is done or once your change ticket is done, change plan window is done, you are deattaching that EBS volume. Okay, and it will be like that laying out in our EBS section. Okay, and we not notice, okay, that there are many EBS volume, okay, which is not attached to any servers, and even not touch those EBS volume more than many days. Okay, so identify those volumes. So it is very simple, guys. You've seen in my earlier many videos. Go to EBS section and click on the available volume. So whichever it is not attached and available, okay, those you can target to delete those volumes. So identify who is the right owner of that volume. Okay, and if you not found anything, take a backup and delete it. If no one come more than 30 days or 60 days, delete the final backup also. Okay, so you can do like that. Okay, so let's add this point also, because I have implemented this, so that's why I'm saying you. Okay, so let's move to the next. Okay, so what we can do more. Okay, so just now I said before deleting EBS volume, take a snapshot. Okay, so you can see there are multiple snapshots, okay, which is not identified, okay, and which is laying out there since many months, many years, okay, which is not scheduled automatically delete. Okay, all those options are not a proper backup strategy used. Okay, so we need to identify those unused snapshot, okay, which not in use, okay, and which is no one having the owners of that, okay, and just go ahead and delete those and save your costing. So similarly we can do thing for our S3 buckets also. Okay, so you can see lots of S3 bucket were created. Okay, we can delete those also. Okay, so we can utilize this one. Okay, so the next point which I have implemented is to releasing the Elastic IPs. Okay, so what happen while doing your test or dev environment, okay, non-prod environment, you are taking Elastic IPs. Okay, and after your work done, you move to prod. Okay, on non-prod you are not doing anything. Still, your Elastic IP were associated to that particular server, that particular website. Okay, which is not in use. Okay, so we can take this as an point where we can save some cost. Okay, so we can ask our dev team, our internal team, that if you are not using this, okay, we can take this IP back. Okay, and whenever you require, we'll assign a new IP to you. Okay, so if you are not going to use for next 3 months, 4 months, okay, why we need to pay unnecessary? Okay, so you need to explain, you need to take a meeting with them and you need to explain them and get those IPs which is not in use. Okay, so you can save costing on releasing Elastic IP as well. So let's add this point. So next point I would like to say you or want to give you a scenario. Okay, so let's assume you are having your AWS file server. Okay, your EC2, one of the EC2 instance is a file server where having multiple shared drive and users accessing all those shared drive, that server basically used as a shared drive. Okay, and that particular server you have around 5 to 6 volumes, EBS volume attached. Okay, and the size of shared drive is increasing. Okay, so your manager asks you to just go ahead and add 10 TB to all those 6 7 shared drive. Okay, so you need to take a point out here. Okay, that if you are directly going to add is EBS volume 10 TB, then how much your billing will increase. Okay, so you need to explain your manager. Okay, instead of directly adding 10 TB, let's see what exactly the ratio about the data is getting created or occupying those shared folder. Okay, if it is required in a year only 1 TB, why we are assigning 9 more TB and we are going to pay for all those 9 TB extra. Okay, so you need to explain this to the management. Okay, or the teams who's owning those servers. Okay, so like that you can also save your costing. So it's happened with me. Okay, so one of my colleague manager, the application owner, who asked me to increase 20 TB on one particular shared drive. Okay, so the shared drive was full and he asked me to add a 20 TB. So I I have explained him that it's not like that, it will increase your billing only. Okay, so at this moment requirement is only 500 GB, which can you survive for next 1 more year or 2 years, so why need to add extra? Okay, so it's just not like on premise hardware. Okay, so we need to explain this to the people who's not aware about how the cloud billing is happening. Okay, so let's add this point. Okay, so on this point, I would like to add one more thing here. Okay, if your data, okay, if your shared folder data or a backup server data which is not going to access, okay, so we can see the older data more than 5 years or 7 years, which we can clearly archive, right? So add those data into the Glacier. Okay, use the Glacier and add those data out there. Okay, and you can also save your costing. Okay, so this also very important point. Okay, so old data which you are going to archive, okay, instead of laying out there, let's move it to the Glacier. So the last point I would like to highlight here, that all your AWS account, okay, so just like your dev account, test account, non-prod account, production account, ensure that you all having the different account, okay, so it will be easy to do a cost optimization and reduce the billing. Okay, so suppose just an example, if you are performing your dev testing, okay, on one of the your AWS account, and on the same account if you having a different VPN and you having your production servers, okay, so that is not a best practice. Okay, so ensure you should have a different account for production, different account for your dev environment, so it will be a right balance, and you can also do cost optimization based on that. So, okay, so let's add that point as well. Okay, so I have added this point as well. Create different account for development and production, and trust me, this all these 10 points will help you to reduce your cost, AWS cost, and your monthly billing, your yearly billing. Try all these points. Okay, if you have any doubt on any specific point, you need more information, please ping me. Okay, you can add in the comment section. I will try to respond to everyone. Okay, so let's meet on the next week with the different topics. That's it for today.